Hi. Hi, everyone, and welcome. First, going to make sure that it's working. Oh, wow, that was fast.
That was fast.
Yeah, apparently it's working. Hi, everyone, and welcome to this weekly Wednesday live stream. We do these every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Central Time, and they're normally to either teach, educate, have fun, or just create concepts together. Today is going to be a little bit of a concept stream, and we're going to start with a female bust. I kind of just started thumbnailing some random things this morning. Obviously, I think organic, witchy concept character is in my wheelhouse, so I thought this would be a fun one to do because we are in the hustle and bustle of getting ready for a con. We're leaving for Indiana tomorrow, quite early, and we need to finish packing today, but we didn't want to miss this stream because if we're in town, I feel like there's no excuse for us not to do one of these, even if we're busy. So as always, well, I guess first, hi, I'm Timothy von Rueden, better known as Vonnart Online, and this is Josh. He will be acting as our moderator. He is my boyfriend and is very lovely to take his time to help me with these things. So hi everyone. If you have any comments or questions during the stream, please put at Vonnart or at Schwa. That way Josh can see it and we can do our best to answer to the best of our ability. And I think I might just kind of jump into this, but the only announcements I have is we officially got our tarot. Let me make sure you guys can see this. The tarot pins came in. And this is the backing board. So this was inspired by my friend Dustin. His Instagram is Inkwell Illustrations. And he kind of gave me the idea of using moo.com. So that's where we get these printed. So if any of you want to get these really nice business cards with a gold print on it, you can go to Moo. And they can also do silver, which is really nice. They're a little pricey, admittedly, but I really like the way they look with the pins. And then I like the idea of all my Patreon backers will get one for free, but I'm going to do it randomly. So every Patreon backer is going to get a random one because on the back, each one has like a mini reading. And I like the idea of letting fate decide. So these will be up on the shop later this month, I believe. Oh gosh, where is my calendar? It's the last Monday, the 25th.
25th.
Yeah, so if you would like one of these for yourself, the 25th is when these will be available. And we also got the Three of Swords back in stock. Kind of another tarot-inspired pin. So, yeah, they kind of all came all at once this week. And, yeah, we're getting them together for Indiana Comic-Con. Hi, everyone. Oh, yes, also, if you want to put where you're watching from, we like to do shout-outs and see where everyone's watching from around the world. Okay, I'm going to kind of jump into this. So, the only thing I'm going to do before I jump in, though, is the pencils that I'm using. The Kimberly Generals, I'm going to be working with an HB and a 2H. Got my Kneaded Eraser and my Mono Zero Tombow eraser, the circle tip. And these are the only, oh, you know what? Also, I'm going to experiment a little bit. I'm going to try some Kneaded Eraser, or not Kneaded Eraser, some of the blending stump as well. Who knows what we're going to create? Like I said, these are very open to interpretation. The only thumbnail I really stuck on this morning was I want to do a witch wearing a black lacy turtleneck. And I like the idea of she has these giant thin fabric that she's kind of carrying around with her and is dragging behind her. But you can't see the lower half of her body, but you can see where her footprints are stepping. So I like the idea that there's like this whole other world. I don't want it to seem vulgar. That's not really the intention of like under her dress is a whole new world. That's not really the meaning behind it. But I like that she is like a gateway to another world, whatever that is. So that's kind of the concept we're going with, but this can evolve and change. That's why these live streams are more conceptual. So if you guys have any ideas while we're working, just shoot them out.
Felix asks, is the top one inspired by Ranny the Witch?
Surprisingly, no. Weirdly, though, I found this reference of an onion knight with a giant helmet. So as I was working on her...
A half onion?
Well, then it became like a half pumpkin. But I'm like, this is too Halloween-y. I want to save that for near fall time. You're right, I got to move this up a little bit. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get started. And then Josh, if you want to be in charge of the questions, I'm going to try to get some good proportions here.
Vampy Moon's here. Hello, Vampy.
Hi, Vampy.
Felix.
Yeah, take the ring off.
Ejadair. Hi from Netherlands. Good to see you again.
Hello, hello.
Ruin Wonderland, welcome back. I kind of gave this away last time, but I'm from Finland. Well, welcome again. Adam Shore, hey Tim and Josh, 2 weeks running, counting myself lucky. Thank you for being here.
Well, thank you.
so far, that is all our introductions.
So I'm going to just try to proportionize her first. So usually when I'm doing a character concept, I tend to get too hyper-focused on details way too early, and that messes up the whole concept, because then if something's out of proportion, I can't fix it easily, and then I'll have to like go back and erase a bunch. So thankfully, I took a reference picture of myself before the stream started, because I liked the pose, and I like the idea of her arms being open so that we can see the portal to the other world, or like the dimension. Because then if her arms were, close together, I think the heavy fabric would block our view from it.
Cover it all up.
Mm-hmm.
Tom Bacon. Is this the Tom Bacon we
Hey Tom, how you doing?
Good to see ya.
I think Tom is also one of the artists that will be at Indiana Comic-Con this weekend, I believe, if I remember correctly.
If this is the same Tom Bacon.
If this is the same Tom Bacon. I don't know a lot of Tom Bacons.
Aris, hey you two, greetings from Germany. I miss the sun.
Hello. Yeah, us too.
We had like one day within the last 2 weeks that was sunny. Kind of forgot it exists.
Well, I think we got punked because, 2 weeks ago? We had a really warm week, and it almost felt like we could get all the spring stuff out, and then it was like the next week it literally snowed. And I was like, well, thank gosh we didn't bring out everything, because that would have been a disaster. I
feel like next weekend we can probably.
I would assume so.
We do sometimes get snow in May. It doesn't happen every year, but there have been, I think last year, right? Or was it the year before that we...
I think it was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Where we put our seedlings out. We thought, well, it's May, we should be fine, and then nope.
Nope, the snow. It is the Tom Bacon we are thinking of.
Well, hello, Tom Bacon.
Wishy is here. Hello, Wishy.
Hello.
Hi, I managed to be on time this time. Wow, weird sentence. Well, you've made it. Time this time. Aris, I thought Tim was wearing a very cropped hoodie over a flannel shirt. Oh my god.
I'm making fashion statements on this stream now.
This is Tim's lumberjack outfit. It's cute.
If this is a lumberjack outfit, it's like the thinnest.
Tim wore this with he has a flannel coat then. So the other day Tim wore this shirt with another flannel. It's not even the same type of flannel.
Mm-hmm. What is it? Plaid on plaid.
It's very 2000s to me. Yeah.
I'm just making fashion statements. Everyone else has got to catch up.
Tim had plaid shorts up until last year.
I am still sad I had to give those away. It literally had a rip in it, which could be the cause of it. Secretly go in my wardrobe and rip it. Would not be surprised.
Not a fan of fast fashion, but I was really happy plaid shorts got out of the way pretty quickly.
Oh my gosh.
Anna Maria, hello from Romania.
Oh, hello, Anna Maria.
Good to see ya. Tim is drawing a witch.
I mean, who knows? Maybe she'll evolve into something else, but as of right now, that's definitely the plan.
You got some good references.
Yeah, so before the stream, I try not to do anything the night before too much, and I'll try to really challenge myself. So only the morning of do I try to find a bunch of references, figure out what I want to draw. And it's been mostly working. I say mostly because, there was one week where I was trying to do environments, and I haven't really done environments very much. And that, I thought, turned out terrible. But I think it's also very natural for, artists to have off days. And I'm glad that, even though in the moment it kind of sucked, I'm kind of glad looking back that you guys get to see a real artist process, that not everything always works out. And I think it's very easy with social media nowadays to assume that whenever an artist sits down to create, it's going to be amazing every time. And unless if you're Kim Jong-ji, usually there's some trial and error, and there's some tribulations you got to get past,
Tim's reference board, though. Did you ever do this in grade school where the teacher, you had to make a mood board? I think it was in our class where you had to cut things out of magazines and stuff. Did you ever do that? You cut things out of magazines and paste it all in one page? Oh.
Well, I wasn't homeschooled, so
This wasn't a homeschool thing. This was in like second grade. We did these. We
I
literally
think I
had to
did.
we had to pick magazines and then cut things out that we liked and then make a big mood board. That's what your thing looks like to me. Because it's just like you kind of overlap things. Felix, I'm going to set aside some time to draw with you guys. I think I'm going to do something inspired by Master Luzat and Master Azur. Oh, I love their armor. I don't think you've come across them yet in Elden Ring. But do you remember that one thing I wore for a while? It was like it wrapped around the head and then it had a giant crystal on top of the head.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's Luzat. I forget who's who.
Guys, Elden Ring is so good. It is definitely becoming like one of my favorite games I've ever played, which is funny because I don't even like the boss battles necessarily. I'm really bad at the actual like gameplay of it, if you want to call it, like the fighting, except when I'm on the horse. If I get Torrent, I'm actually pretty good. But as soon as you take Torrent away from me...
Yeah, you hate... They call those master dungeons now, I learned. Was like the lingo. So when you go to like the big areas, like the Academy or Stormvale, they call those master dungeons is like the...
Oh, okay.
You hate those.
I'm not a big fan of the master dungeons.
You like the catacombs and stuff though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
normal dungeons I'm all about. And actually I got to the point where I could actually do some on my own. Like there was one night, if you guys know the bottom continent of Elden Ring, I call it Australia. So Australia I was able to beat all on my own that one night.
Oh, Castle Morn, that's technically a master dungeon, so you did one on your own.
Well, not only that, but I did the caves in that area.
Very impressive. It's so weird seeing Tim play a Souls game still. I've not accepted it yet.
Well, and okay, hot take. I think after seeing the Kingdom Hearts trailer, which should have been exciting considering I love the original Kingdom Hearts so much, I'm one of the biggest fans. But it was I felt numb watching it because watching Elden Ring and then watching a Kingdom Hearts announcement trailer, there's such a juxtaposition for me of Elden Ring feels well thought out and everything fits together, and it creates this puzzle that you feel, I don't know, that it's well thought out and it just feels right. And then watching Kingdom Hearts, you see Sora in this Tokyo setting, and you're like, what? Why? Like this doesn't fit the storyline. And I'm sure they're gonna force it to fit some weird way. And
it's just, why would they go? Because Kingdom Hearts to me is the coolest combination of, you get Disney and the Square Enix worlds they can create. So it's like, why would you make it?
Well, not only
realistic?
A lot of people forget Kingdom Hearts was one of the first multi-universe kind of creations, that it became popular. And now it's like every game tries to do it, every story. Like look at Marvel, now it's all cross-integrated. But no one really did that before Kingdom Hearts. So it was this very big game changer at the time. And now it's like deserting what made it so good. And it's ironic that the famous song from it is Simple and Clean, because Kingdom Hearts story is anything but that.
Simple and clean.
And literally banger of my 7th grade. Simple and Clean. Utada, thank you.
All right, so Agent Kane, hello from Salt Lake City, Utah.
Hello.
Hello. Ara says Tim is wearing early 2000s and Josh is embodying the girl from the Bridge of Terabithia. Classic alt pixie girl.
Yes to both.
Tom says it's like being scared to sketch in a sketchbook because you're afraid every page won't be amazing.
Yeah. I do hear this from a lot of younger artists because they see all these YouTuber, TikTokers, and...
Oh, that does mess with people.
Yeah, they assume every time you go to draw, it should be good. But the way that... Because I've had to kind of take my own mental status away from that and start to remind myself that like art is supposed to be, one, kind of fun, but two, it's supposed to be exploratory, and not everything is supposed to work. And that's okay. Because as long as in the drawing, even if you would consider it a failure, as long as you were exploring something new, to me, that's still a success.
Yeah. I think since I've been playing piano again, too, I've see accounts that do it, too, and they'll, like, play the piece perfectly. But then you have to, as the viewer, also have the mindset of they want to present their best, which makes sense. But I have to understand behind the scenes, they probably struggled a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Agent Kane says Elden Ring is life. Finally finished it last week.
Don't spoil anything.
No spoilers for
I
Tim.
literally don't know. Someone even mentioned, actually, I won't spoil it for any of you guys, but there's a terrain or like an environment that I didn't know was going to be upcoming, and they spoiled it. And I'm someone that, like, I won't even watch trailers now. Like, for movies that I know I'll enjoy, like the one from the Daniels that just came out, the Everything Everywhere All at Once, I've only seen like the little clip image of it, but I already know I want to see it because I liked Swiss Army Man a lot.
Next week, Tim.
Next week. That's what we're seeing.
Oh, Oscar's here.
What up, Oscar?
Hi. You thought you'd be free for me. Not going to happen. Just finished beach volleyball. Oh my god, that's right. Tim starts beach volleyball.
Don't remind me. I gotta
like
start training for it. Yeah.
Training.
Well, okay. I think I do better at sports that aren't team based, and this sounds terrible, but I just don't think I'm the best team player. That's why tennis was my big sport in high school, and every mistake that was made, it was my own fault. And I think I do better at critiquing myself and then adjusting as I see fit, where when you're on a team, it's a lot of reliant on other people, which maybe this is something I need to learn more of, but I just don't think I am the most reliant on other people. I love having friends and I love get-togethers, but when it comes to like my personal success in something, it's hard for me to trust people.
Well, you're going to have to.
I'm going to have to.
Beach volleyball.
Well, what's funny is for this scenario of playing beach volley with my younger cousins, I'm afraid that I'm going to be the one holding the team back. So I'm going to feel like the one that I would have been frustrated with in high school. So I got to start training so that at least I am comparable to the other players on the field.
You'll be fine. We'll practice in the backyard. I'm not good at volleyball, but I'll practice with you.
Oh, thank you, Josh. Thank you.
You'll feel really good playing against me.
Well,
Felix says it is so good I haven't been into a game for a long while. Fortunately, between starting my job and playing Elden Ring, I haven't done much art.
That's fair.
I mean, I agree though. I feel as a self-proclaimed gamer, I feel a lot of times I'm playing games just because I feel like I have to play a video game. Elden Ring, I actually felt immersed, where you kind of forget everything else for a moment and it's you in the game. And that's a good feeling when you can get like that with a video game.
I love how you had to announce it like you're at an AA meeting. Hi, I'm Josh, and I'm a gamer.
SE says Kingdom Hearts is a mess. Tim has tried to explain the story to me probably 10 times, and I'm still like...
Well, the thing is, I don't fully understand it. Well, and what makes it worse is... I could go on such a tangent with Kingdom Hearts, but I guess at the end of the day, they should have kept the more cartoony, fun look of it. I'm not into the hyperrealism. Like, I know people are like, oh, to see Sora's pores on his face. I'm like, that is not what I like about Kingdom Hearts.
You don't want to see that.
Like, that literally does nothing in terms of my enjoyment of Kingdom Hearts in general. And the best part of that trailer was just Goofy and Donald at the end for me. And I'm like, this is Kingdom Hearts, where it's silly, or literally the best comparison I can think of is it has the same vibe of The Last Airbender, the first 3 seasons, because yeah, it's mostly goofy and just fun and like a adventure, but then there's serious times or like sad times that you feel it because you connected with these characters so much on like a relatable level. And then Kingdom Hearts, what was it? Even 3, that story was the most unrelatable story I think you could have created. Mm-hmm. And I know Tetsuya Nomura used to be one of my icons in the art world, and nowadays I'm just like, get him off of the stories. I don't want him on board of any of the stories. I think he killed this sounds a little harsh. I'll say that I think the Final Fantasy 15 designs of the bros, I actually liked the first part of the game, the first half, but the designs I've never cared for, where it's just all black and then just red Louis Vuitton heel soles.
I kind of liked it.
Oh, get out of here.
I kind of liked it. It was sleek.
And to be honest, I was a little nervous about Final Fantasy 16 after the trailer, but now that I've played Elden Ring, if that's the direction they're kind of going in, I could be into this. I could be into 16, where at first I was definitely not on board.
I'm hoping because it's still in development, maybe they changed some directions when Elden Ring came out too.
That's what I'm thinking.
I hope, because actually a Final Fantasy version of Elden Ring would be really cool.
Well, I don't know if you saw the gameplay part of Final Fantasy 16. It was like the main character fighting a Malboro.
It was
It
Dark
looked,
Souls. Yeah.
It did. And at first it was like, oh, great. Final Fantasy is losing what made it Final Fantasy. But now I'm like, if they can take the best parts of Elden Ring, which I think was the way that the environment's laid out and the way that you can just freely explore it, I'm okay with that. But I don't want it to be like Breath of the Wild.
I know hope they just include magic in the world. Not I know they'll have magic. No, I mean like let's go for forests and stuff like that. More of like a fantasy. I don't know. Because the trailers and stuff, or what I saw, it seemed a little bit more like war-torn world. Lots of like orange and red and brown. So it'd be fun to get some like...
Well, I'm actually okay with the world right now.
For 16?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you didn't like it. Interesting.
I don't like the character designs that much, and I thought the summons looked a little iffy. Well, the other thing... Okay, this might be just a personal vindication, but I don't like face tattoos on fantasy characters.
Oh yeah, you didn't like oh my god, what's her name? Melania or whatever? The one with
Oh yeah, from Elden Ring.
Yeah, you don't like because she has
I mean, I guess if hers is more like a scar
though.
That I'm okay with. But Final Fantasy 15, the movie, I forgot what it was called. A bunch of characters had face tattoos.
I think her scar you'll put two and two together eventually and you'll understand why she has it.
Well, don't spoil
that's
anything.
That's not a spoiler. That's
yeah,
a
that is a spoiler.
Okay, that's a vague spoiler.
Oh my! I don't want any
sorry.
type of spoiler. Unbelievable. Do you see live?
I didn't.
Live. Ruining.
That wasn't.
Oh my gosh! Do you just want to tell me what happens at the end?
No.
Is that a light spoiler?
Oh my god. All right, let's see.
You might as well. Now I know the scar has meaning.
Who's gonna get me out of this right now? Oh no, Agent Kane, definitely no spoilers. That game is meant to be experienced.
Thank you.
That wasn't a spoiler though.
Thank you.
It's not like I said what it is.
Yeah.
I just said keep an eye out.
Mm-hmm.
Tim's really confusing too because then sometimes he will ask for some help with something and I'm like, but it's fine. Oscar says, in beach volleyball you only play 2v2, so you just need to find one person that you're really synced with.
Oh, you're doing like legit beach volleyball. Oh, I'm doing like B-League team beach volleyball at a bar.
Yeah.
In Wisconsin.
I'm looking forward. I can go hang out with some of the cousins' girlfriends. We can just drink some beer.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, not drink beer. I'm not going to drink beer. Actually, maybe I will.
I wouldn't be surprised if you do.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
Oscar says, by the way, biking home now. I'll catch up. Oscar, be safe, please.
Take care.
Vampy says, I love making games. I am a little small game creator. Ooh, Vampy, yeah?
I mean, that's awesome. There was a point in my life where I thought I was going to be an indie game developer because I realized I probably wouldn't be working for a big studio at one point. And I was like, well, I could be like an indie game developer and like get a bunch of my friends and just make games with them. But it's tough. So I give you a lot of credit. Yeah, keep on keeping on. Do you ever use
RPG Maker?
Yeah, we tried it.
Yeah, that's what I used. I made one on there.
Yeah, but you gotta remember it. So since I went to school for it, we could actually like program it and design it. Because we had to learn Unreal Engine.
Okay, my RPG Maker was still good.
I didn't imply it was bad.
That
is you.
I can feel some tension right now about that spoiler.
I mean, yes, that was well deserved.
Vampy says, my mom used to play volleyball, I think. Yeah, I don't think anyone in my family played sports. My dad did when he was in high school, but...
Yeah, my mom wasn't allowed to. I mean, my parents are much older, so they actually didn't have girls' sports in Gary, Indiana when she was growing up. Yeah, no. You could do cheerleading, but that was it. They didn't even have volleyball. Like, nothing.
That's so weird.
Isn't that?
Adam says, firstly, can I thank you for the streams? This last week I've been more inspired and produced more than I did in the last month.
Hey,
Oh.
that's what I like to hear. Keep it up. Let me see.
R says, never played, ever really seen a single Final Fantasy game, but now I'm kind of curious. Any suggestions, or do I have to start at number 1?
No, so they're disconnected. Final Fantasy X is my favorite Final Fantasy game. I think just story and the way that it is told, I think is the best out of all of them. Visually, weirdly, 10 used to be my number 1, but weirdly, I think 12 is my favorite now visually. I think it captures this overly decadent, fantasy, worn, magical feeling that I love in fantasy worlds. And what's funny is Elden Ring is kind of capturing that, but think less gaudy decadent and more just like dark fantasy. And it's doing it in a way that's not just like, no offense to the previous Dark Souls games, where they just look gloomy. Like, this game legit is beautiful. There are times where I'll be on the horse in like this water area where it's like what's that called? Flooded.
Yeah.
And sometimes the environment will turn yellow. And I know I mentioned this last stream, but it becomes this like hazy yellow smoke. And then the water has this light lavender purple color tint to it. So as you're riding through this water, it's stunning. It feels like a cinematography in a top grade movie. And it's in Elden Ring. And I would have never thought From Software would create this, considering Dark Souls usually was just like gray and moody. And then Bloodborne had the decadence, but it was still just gloomy. Where this, I think, it has some gloom to it, but it balances out with these like beautiful color moments that I have not seen in the previous games. At least my own experience with it.
Yeah, I mean, I know people say that, but I still think even Dark Souls 1 had some areas that were like, had color to it. I don't know.
I think there's a difference between having color, though, and like really setting a mood.
I guess. Jen says, Tim, I think that is just the look of the Quadratum world.
The what?
I'm trying to remember. I know this is a little bit back. I'm trying to get caught up because I know.
Let me see.
If I get behind,
Where
I
were
forget
you?
what we were talking about. Oops.
Well, you let me know when
There,
you find
right
it
here.
again. Oh, Quadratum. So Quadratum apparently is one of the worlds that you go to in Kingdom Hearts. It's not like the only world.
Oh, okay.
But even then, I'm just not feeling it. I mean, it's kind of like with the Mario Odyssey. I know people liked the New Dunk City. I was not feeling that. When I play fantasy games, I like it being in a fantasy setting, personally.
Not like a Metropolis looking place.
It could be Metropolis if it's not real life looking. Like, that to me just looks like a Tokyo city, where the Metropolis in Final Fantasy 12, what's it called? I can't believe I'm forgetting the name. I can't remember the main city. Rabanastre? I don't know if that's right. But that is like a metropolis, but it feels fantastical. There's a huge difference.
Okay.
And, okay, biggest comparison here, Final Fantasy VII Remake. The main character cast, fantasy, but still kind of inspired by real life. Every other NPC in Midgar could have been pulled from, like, The Sims 4.
I mean, yeah.
They look terrible. And they're like, I don't want my fantasy setting to be blue jeans and like suit wearing people. Like, I don't get immersed into that. This could be just a personal thing, but I personally do not like fantasy games having blue jeans and suits and that kind of stuff.
Adam Shore says, also thank you for the advice on social media last week. Spread out and tried Twitter, and growth on Instagram and Twitter have both been more this week. Oh,
Hey.
That's really good to hear.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm glad to hear that.
Ara says, Josh, you're spoiling that there is meaning, and now I'm going to think about it. Okay, I'm sorry, guys.
See?
I'm sorry. I won't do it again.
You're forgiven.
I won't do it again.
This was a learning experience that we got to witness together.
It's really hard because sometimes Tim will hate on something in the game, and I'm like, oh, but Tim, just keep your eye out.
What does that mean? That was vague.
That was yeah. Well, you don't know. Because you were hating on the scars. That's why I said something. Because you hate the scar, but there's a reason.
So that's where you just gotta play with me and be like, well, just you wait. You know?
I suppose. Jen says Yoshi P responded to the criticism of the look was that he wanted to show the gameplay as soon as possible because he is very aware of the Square Enix reputation for trailers without substance.
Wait, now I'm more confused.
The 16 trailer. Because that was when I think Yoshi P dropped off of it. So I play 14 a lot, and I know Yoshi P directs that one. So I think he dropped 16 then because he was like, it's hard to do both of these right now.
Wait, did he?
But yeah, he was the director still in the trailer.
Wait, but did he drop it?
I'm pretty sure Yoshi P dropped. Yeah.
Are you sure? I mean, it's weird because I feel like talking to you guys, I feel like there's the next generation of people that don't even play Final Fantasy or even are interested in it. Where for a lot of millennials, I would say Final Fantasy, especially if you were like a nerdy gamer, like usually Final Fantasy had some influence on you. Is he or no?
He's producer. I thought, didn't he start out as director though?
To be honest, I don't know. That was all you.
I don't actually know. Well, I know Yoshi P does 14. I don't know. So it's saying he's producer of 16. And then Hiroshi is the game director. Just trying to see. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see.
Vampy says making games are hard.
Yeah.
Like there's so many wheels involved with it.
It's very difficult. That's why I do give a lot of these indie developers so much credit because they're stacked up against these AAA titles, which have so many people working on them for, years, really. Where a lot of indie games, it might be like a team of 10, maybe 20. And there's a lot of hats then you have to wear being a part of such a small team. So, yeah, I give you a lot of credit. It's not easy.
Krina says hello, greetings from Germany, and happy Wednesday. Just dropping in for a bit. Krina, good to see you.
Hope you're doing well.
Yeah, we're doing well. I think Aris is saying hopefully you guys get some sunshine over there too.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, I'm not holding my breath because we'll be gone for the next 4 days and it's kind of busy anyways, so we can't enjoy outside.
Convention hall anyways, yeah. OVMP, making games are hard. You need to script and other things. The tips I have for art I find is if you're making a scene, you need to feel and know the scene you're making. Yeah,
that's a great way to describe it.
Yeah, I feel like Elden Ring, they definitely communicated to the team what they want to go for. And that's why probably everyone was on the same page and it just works really well.
Well, make everything feel lived in and have a purpose behind it.
Felix says, I actually stopped playing Dark Souls 1 because it was so aggressively ugly.
It is. I know Josh kind of likes it, but I think it is also hideous.
The beginning area is probably the worst because it's like Stormvale in Elden Ring. Like, I don't think Stormvale is a really pretty zone. It's just a castle. Which I kind of like that they started off with Stormvale. Like, if you actually followed what the game wants you to do, that you go through Stormvale first, because you're going to get this feeling of like, oh, it's just another Dark Souls game. And I think after that, they build it up.
Aggressively ugly.
It's a dark world, but...
I like that description. Aggressively ugly.
A view is a view. Hello. Good to see ya.
Hello, hello.
Wishy, I would really like to play Elden Ring, but hate Souls gameplay so much. I need an easy mode.
Trust me. I'm the same. But once I learned you can summon people, so if you're struggling like me, just summon people at the bosses.
There is an easy mode without you clicking easy mode, but it is...
What?
Well, I'm saying it's like summoning. You have Ash of Wars. So they give you things you can use to kind of make the game easier. Sorcery, I think, overall would make the game easier too. There's a couple bosses sorcery doesn't work out well for, but for the most part. So there are things you can do to make the game easier. You just have to kind of put a little work into it at first, and then you're good to go.
Because trust me, I'm like you. I'm not the biggest fan of the gameplay. I think it's a little clunky, and I think it's very reaction time based, which I'm not a reaction time based gamer. That's why I like new Smash Brothers. Not
you
for
hate
me.
the controls too. Tim like despises the controls with it.
Well, okay, as someone who went to school for game design, it's just like really simple things. Like to get off of the steed should not also be the movement on the steed, because if you accidentally click it in, you jump off the steed.
You do that at least a couple times every time you play.
Yeah, and it's frustrating because I'm like, this is just poor design. And I know if people are watching this that love From Software designs, I'm sure like, oh, well, you're just bad at gaming. No, I can just recognize bad design. And don't get me wrong, I love Elden Ring, one of my favorite games I've ever played. But we can all admit, if we've played it, that it does feel clunky in certain areas. If I'm using my right hand and I have to reach over to the left side of the controller, bad design. I don't know why this isn't something that has been fixed. I know it's like, yeah, the previous games did it. Well, there's been previous games and series before that have cleaned up their act and changed things to make it better. I don't know why we just assume, oh, since this is how it was, it's how it should be forever. Like, no. And I think the whole potion thing, basically, last rant, you can hold triangle and it'll open up a submenu and it'll like ease of access. But the problem is the submenu that pulls up, you still have to use the D-pad on your left hand. So on the PS5 controller, at least, if you're moving with the stick, the analog stick, you still have to remove your thumb so you can't move anymore and then press one of the analog or one of the directional pad buttons and then go back to moving. So I'm like, why didn't you just hold triangle and then make the shoulder buttons the shortcut menus?
I mean, I won't lie, the Xbox controller is easier because it's on top instead.
Yeah, I don't know why they didn't do
below. So you can just like use your index finger and then your thumb for what you need.
Yeah, so that was admittedly a little frustrating. Love the game.
Rune Wonderland says, perhaps I should give Final Fantasy another chance. I've only tried one of the games. I can't remember which it was, but I was lost in some hecking tunnels for so long that I lost my motivation and quit playing.
Fair.
Tunnels. Maybe it was
you were
12.
early on. I mean, 12 you do start in the sewers, but it's pretty easy to get out of there. What other tunnels?
I'm trying to remember which one had tunnels.
10 starts at the stadium or Xanarkin. 13 is just bad. I don't know where you start off in 15. Oh, don't you start off in oh gosh, I don't remember where you start in 15.
You start off
in the car?
at the gas station.
That's
Is
right,
where,
because the car broke
actually
down.
start moving your character.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. The first half of 15 I actually thought was pretty great.
Mm-hmm.
I was surprised how much I liked the first half.
Sid and Cindy were like the first people you meet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Actually, this is a good comparison too with these two games, because Elden Ring feels really massive, but it's exciting to explore the areas, where in 15 I feel like it was just open nothingness for after like the first 10 hours. You're like, okay, come on, like, can I see something?
Yeah, I think that's why they chose the desert, because they could kind of have the excuse of, oh well, it's a desert, so it's just gonna be. I didn't explore as much in that one, surprisingly,
Because it
like,
wasn't
go
exciting
off the
to
road.
explore.
Yeah.
Elden Ring makes it exciting to explore, and I think that's just the difference right there.
Also, driving in that game, I hated driving the car.
Well, it was weird because it was, if you ever wanted to fast travel somewhere, the loading screen was forever. It took like a minute and a half, I remember. It was just a really long loading screen.
Agent Kane says, how do you sketch the patterns in a way that makes it look so symmetrical?
I guess in this, I just kind of rough given, like, let's see. So on the boob area, let's say I want to have like a little filigree. So I know, okay, I did like an ocean wave going in, out, and then I had another one that kind of surrounds it. So then on this side, in, out, and another one that kind of surrounds it. So you just kind of give yourself like gestural, points of, I call it anchoring. So I'll anchor myself to an area, and then I'll be able to just replicate it, but then mirror it, essentially. And whenever I'm doing forms on the body, especially in fabric, there's always been a part of me that liked the idea of being a fashion designer. So when it comes to fabric and the way that textiles look, I always like the idea of the patterns and the filigree working with the body. So it's not like fighting it. So in this case, obviously she has a chest, we got the shoulders. It's a lot of round spherical objects where rather than like harshly cutting into them, work with them and then have that flow in the curves, like with the collarbone, have here, I don't know why I'm doing it myself. Do it where like I know her collarbone is probably like roughly here. So I'm gonna have the form of the fabric and the little textile go alongside of it. And it creates that cool illusion where it's almost like the fabric is becoming a part of the body. And I love the look of that.
Emily says, thank you for posting your convention schedule.
Yeah, absolutely. I know it's funny. 3-4 years ago, posting a convention schedule would, do all right on social media. Nowadays, it does so bad in terms of like counts. And unfortunately, the algorithm then sees that as like a bomb post. Or not bomb, I use bomb positively. As it's like a total tank. Like it does really bad. And it affects the algorithm then. So what stinks is like I personally want to post my con schedule so that people can see it and people can see if I'll be at a con near them, blah, blah, blah. But I know I'm going to take a hit on the algorithm. And it's weird that I even have to have that thought nowadays where I never used to even have to consider that, So I'm glad that it was appreciated because I knew I was like, this is going to hurt my Instagram algorithm, but it's worth it. It's worth it.
I mean, I'm excited. It'd be good to be back at a convention this weekend, too.
I think I just need cons. I think cons give me a lot of life, and I've been missing them. I think that's something COVID took away from me that I didn't realize how much I enjoyed in life.
Ira says, coming from Africa, I literally cried the first time we had weather in the double digits Celsius. Winter is meant to be 12 degrees, not -8.
Oh.
54 instead of 17. Oh, gosh. Yeah, I mean, we get in single digits in Fahrenheit. I think this winter even we had some negative days. It was cold.
It was cold.
Felix says, I'm not a graphics whore. I will play Thief from 1998, but the art direction for Dark Souls 1 felt really uninspired generic fantasy.
Yes. Aggressively ugly.
I thought Dark Souls 2 probably was, at least to me, the ugliest.
See, I don't even know the difference.
Yeah. Was she... Oh, you're talking to Aris. Let's see. Agent Kane, the most annoying part of the game is when Torrent is dead and it asks if you want to use your Crimson Flask to revive him. Like, no shit, I want to use it. It should just be automatic. I actually agree with that, too.
Hard agree.
The worst is
when
agree. Something's really chasing you and you're like, yes, please. I've clicked no accidentally so many times, too, so then you're like trying to redo it all.
Mm-hmm.
Grain and Sand said make a second account for that stuff. Or like the schedules and stuff.
I guess I could. It's just having another account.
Von Cons.
Yeah. I mean, kind of cute.
There is those little, you know, even the link tree. There is this new one out too. People are using that you actually like have a mini. People click it and it's like it links to other websites. You know what I'm talking about on your biography where you have the link tree?
There's always some new thing. Though.
I know, that's how things go now.
Like, I like Linktree. I've had someone even DM me about, like, they've made their own ones and it'll be cheaper. And I'm like, Linktree's reliable at this point.
Ruin Wonderland says it was way older than 10, I think. I have no idea which one it was. My boyfriend loves Final Fantasy. So I really should give it a try. Oh, so you're probably doing yeah. Oh, Alvin. Hello, just passing by.
Hello.
Hello, Alvin. Hope you've been doing well. Tim's drawn a little witch today.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not exactly sure what her story or anything is, but I just really wanted to draw this type of a visual today.
I really like that hat. It kind of looks like a traffic cone.
Like, what was her name from UK Drag Race?
Yeah, oh my god, yes. But I know you're gonna spice it up.
Not too much, actually.
Are the things dangling like little jewels hanging from it?
I would assume so. So, I feel like this is kind of a cop-out for me. So sometimes I'll just draw like little circles and little accessory ornate things everywhere, and then I might keep them, I might take them out. But for me, it usually provides the vibe that I want, which is like this fantasy. And I feel like it's very much inspired from Amano and the way that he just adds random trinkets and jewelry things everywhere. So I think I've just made that a habit where these might not even be in the final product, but right now they're at least giving me the feeling that I'm kind of looking for right now. So we'll see if they actually stay. Also, I really want to try going darker with this. Oh yeah, and I wanted to try using the blend stone. Yeah, right.
I think that thing's so cool every time you use it.
It's weird, especially for someone that doesn't use it often like me. I have to like reteach myself every time. I'm like, oh yeah, that's how this kind of blends. Oh yeah, I gotta push a little harder here. So I'm always a little nervous using it, admittedly. I do like the idea of having her face just have this kind of shadow veil over the top half.
Yeah, Tim and I have been trying to figure out what we want to make our wardrobe at conventions be.
Yeah, it's weird. I was so into the Steve Jobs just wear black scenario for a little bit, and then I watched Queen's Gambit, and I was like, oh, we should only wear black turtlenecks because of how nice that looks. But looking back at some of the older photos, I kind of like wearing just white, but then a part of me is like, maybe we could have more fun with it and dress up. Not like super dress up, but incorporate more gold and more fantastical elements.
Here's an idea I was having.
All right, let's
Okay.
hear it.
So, cool, Tim.
Oh, that's great,
yeah,
Josh. Oh,
cool idea.
you're having ideas?
I
That's
have
wonderful.
something. I was thinking suspenders and bow ties, but you already knew that. I told you that. So I was thinking we could wear like dress up a little bit more for conventions. But then I was thinking you could do a white one. I could wear a black one.
No.
To match your better bunch.
I'm definitely one where like it needs to be consistent.
We both need to have it on.
It needs to either be both black or both white.
I just feel like a white shirt with white suspenders.
I love that.
You like that?
Mm-hmm.
Different shades of white though? Or try to find similar?
Pretty similar. Because then the white just becomes texture, essentially.
Okay. White shirt, white suspenders, gold bow tie.
Maybe. Bow ties are like weird for me. It could work though. It could.
White pants? Oh, that's dangerous.
That's dangerous.
We both thought that, especially wintertime.
Now we're entering very dangerous territory.
What color pants do we do then? Like a khaki?
I don't know.
Oh no.
I would legit have to do research and like figure it out, because even though I would love to be like a fashion designer, I think finding like casual wear that's not too over the top, because a lot of the wardrobe I like to create is just over the top. Where who knows, maybe we could wear over the top. That's what Pui does. So my friend
works.
Pui Che, he wears like level 2 or stage 2 Final Fantasy boss wardrobe. And it just keeps growing. There'll be like more feathers, more tapestry flowing all over him, and it's quite cool. Or at least I think it's cool.
He also has a pointing stick he uses.
His wand.
His wand, yeah.
Yeah, so then he'll point at everything with this, imagine like a wand, and then like his prince will be like, oh, would you like this one? Oh, this is the story about so-and-so. And it's pretty cool because it creates this experience and that people will remember leaving that con. They'll remember the guy that was dressed up all fantastical and crazy.
Mystical.
Mm-hmm. I might leave her eyes vacant for now. We'll see.
Kind of spooky.
Well, she is a witch. Yeah, I need to look at this without the camera in my face. Because I'm always like looking at an angle, where that's why sometimes my drawings look elongated after I finish a screen. Let me just adjust some of the face before I pull it back. Are there any questions that we got?
No, not at the moment.
I don't think we've ever been like caught up successfully in a stream. You know what? I might make the underside super light to add that contrast.
Oh, actually, yeah, that...
Maybe. So we did watch Death on the Nile as well. It was fine, but what was crazy is I was on Criterion Collection then this week. We found out there was an original Death on the Nile, and it's from the same cast that did the Murder on the Orient Express years ago. And I'm like, oh, we should watch this one too, because I like the original Murder on the Orient Express, I think, better.
Oh, yeah. Way better than the new one.
So I'm curious about... But I mean, whodunits are always really fun to watch. And even our friend Tyler was here when we watched it, and he's really into whodunits as well. So even if it's kind of bad, it's still a fun experience to watch a whodunit, because especially when you watch it with people, you can kind of try to figure it out like live. And it's just fun figuring it out with a bunch of your friends together. We were pretty much mostly wrong, I would say.
Yeah.
No spoilers.
Just grabbing. Trying to find Pooey's Instagram quick.
Oh yeah, it's Pooey Illustrated.
Oh, I know. I just can't log in right now, so I had to like Google for it instead.
Oh.
There we go. I will link Pooey's Instagram. I think Pooey has some photos.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he always wears something like floral and... Tom says he is a boss. Yeah, Pooey is.
For real though. I'm gonna zoom in for you guys.
Iris says, I always wanted to wear formal or over the top clothes too, and then my casual wear is boring because I don't know how to make a t-shirt interesting.
I mean, to be honest, I could see us start dressing up because I want to have fun again at cons, and I think I've been taking things have just been a little more lax. I feel like because, you know, with things going on in the world, and I think things can get very serious, and then I like lose some of the fun that making art was for me in the past. And I think I need to see art again as a reminder of giving people an escape, or like giving people a way to see the better side of humanity, or just a more creative side of like what humans can create. Because I know I get really inspired when like I'll watch sports stuff. Like I love the Olympics. I don't really watch like normal sports, but I'll watch any documentary about a passionate sports player. It like revitalizes myself and gives me, you know, that hope again for just humanity as a whole. And I think it's very easy to drown in all the bad things that humanity is doing. I mean, even last night I was watching Tinder Swindler, and I was just so upset by the end where I was like, actually, I won't spoil anything, but essentially, oh, how did I say this without spoiling it? Basically, who the Tinder Swindler is, it's just a really bad example of like how a human can take advantage of other people and kind of get away with it, which is just frustrating.
Yeah, we need more motivational entertainment. I feel like we're so focused on like bad things that happen to other people or bad people. I think motivational entertainment's good though too. Like stories that are positive, or a story of something good someone did for someone else, stuff like that. I don't think we see that as often.
Well, and even like when I think of fantasy movies now versus back then, like now the fantasy genre is definitely in the more like realistic Game of Thronesy era where it's very like dark. But when you think of like 80s fantasy, think like Dark Crystal or Labyrinth or Willow or Legend. Like they all were just fun. And yeah, there were some scary moments and definitely some like serious points, but there was just this overwhelming sense of fun, and I love that, and I want to see more of that. And I think I have to remind myself that I want to be that type of a creator, to give someone a way to look at something and be like, oh, that's really fun. That is cool. I'm inspired to do something of my own, and then give that back to humanity. So yeah, maybe we should start dressing up at cons.
I'd be down for that.
I'm totally down for that.
We just have to figure out what it is still.
I mean, I would love to wear something like gaudy and just crazy.
I mean, I'd be down for that.
I think, though, first I'd want the booth to look just as crazy and cool, because if the booth looks shabby and then we look super elegant, it'll look like vain.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you care more about your presentation than you do your booth, which I wouldn't want that. But if we can get the booth looking super cool
to match
and like fantastical, you know what? That should be our goal this year. You guys heard it first. We're going to make our booth even more like gaudy and decadent.
All right, we'll think about it.
No, that usually is your way of saying I don't want to do it.
No, I'm sure. We'll start working on it.
That's like me when I'm like, okay, we'll put that in the idea suggestion box.
Wishy says I always draw legs way too long because of the angle.
Oh, yeah, I definitely used to have that problem. Well, even with arms, you can tell my arms this one's a little longer, but I might fix that. I might make the hand a little more in. But originally it was like way out here. I just have that bad habit. But I think if I make the head smaller, because I tend to do that as I start cutting in with my pencils, usually the proportions I have to slightly adjust. Which, speaking of proportions, Elden Ring has the weirdest proportions on their characters, and yet it somehow works. Like the Renalia, the Moon Queen. Renala.
Yeah.
Her proportions are so bad. They are wildly bad, and yet they work so well. Like her head is like this big, and then the length of her, the distance between her neck and shoulder is like way out here, and then shoulder to arm is like ginormous, and yet it works. And Elden Ring, I think, can get away with these weird proportions with like really small heads because it's consistent throughout the world. And even like when I was building my own character, I just always thought the head felt really small. But I'm like, well, yeah, but in this world, maybe they don't have the standard human proportion that we're used to in the real world. So it's like another element where it's consistent. This is what I'm talking about, Namora. Consistency. It works. It helps.
Agent Kane says Knives Out is my favorite Whodunit. Excited for the sequels. Oh yeah, I did like Knives Out a lot.
Yeah, Knives Out was fun. I remember I did have one issue with it. It was something about the blood on the shoe. I'd have to rewatch it again, but I remember I was like, that's such a weird... That couldn't have happened. I'd have to rewatch it, but my favorite Whodunit has to be Clue back in...
Oh my god.
I can quote so much of that movie because I've seen it so many times, especially like the flames feeding, flickering on the side of my face.
Oh my god.
It's just so good. If you guys haven't seen the original Clue movie, highly recommend, especially if you're in a group of people, watch it at like a party, especially around Halloween. I think it's just one of those perfect comedy movies that like doubles as a whodunit, doubles as like a Halloween-y movie.
It's so funny though.
It's so funny.
Rossi says, hello guys, Wednesdays are my favorite days thanks to you. Greetings from Venezuela. Oh,
well, thank you.
Well, happy you can be here hanging out with us today. Beth B. Rab says, happy Wednesday. How are you?
Hey, Beth. This is Beth. You've never met Beth, I don't think. Maybe? Beth, have you met Josh? I don't think you have. So Beth is the one that I met at the workshop, and then now she's doing the podcast with Andrew.
Oh.
The Your Art
Friends.
I
listened to the podcast, yeah.
Yeah, so this is Beth.
Well, nice to, I guess, informally meet you, Beth. Beth
is wonderful. And what's great is Beth is going to be starting to do cons again soon. You know what, Beth, I want to hear your opinion. What would you feel if me and Josh started dressing up like like something like this? Is this too much? Is this distracting? let's hear your thoughts.
Will we see you? Will you be at Indiana this weekend?
I don't think so.
No.
Are you? I don't think you are.
Adam Shore says, so I've always used mechanical pencils for sketches or anything traditional, just easier. And seeing you using normal pencils, I went out and bought some. Found I have so much to teach myself. Oh, Adam, this is so cool though to hear you.
I mean, I was like you too. I only used mechanical pencils for like the longest time in my career. And it's weird that I don't use them as like almost at all now. But I think it's because I actually like dull tipped pencils. A lot of people are surprised when they see that I don't work with sharp pencils. I like covering larger areas quickly. And then if I need to do like an edging, I'll turn the pencil to an angle where I can get kind of the edge of the graphite. Or I'll just pull out one of my pencils that are a little sharper and then start digging in, you know?
I was going to say, I feel like I only hear you sharpen your pencils like once a week.
Very rare.
Yeah. I never hear that thing going.
Where it's funny because then I'll talk to my other friends like Art of Price, Sean. He'll be sharpening all the time. He likes a very fine point like at all times. And, you know, to each their own.
Ruin Wonderland says, maybe leave their eyes white, but turn the top of their face darker, like gradient, darker from top and turning lighter as going down.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. I kind of like the idea of this bottom half being very light, and then as we get half, it could be implying the cast shadow from the hat, but yeah, we're gonna take it darker. And normally, if you guys see how I build my values, it's usually I'm building them up. I'm like layering it, and I'll do this if I need to get really dark somewhere, or if I'm doing a darker skin tone, I'll do it in layers rather than just all at once.
Tom says, I decided on going pretty vaporwave with my attire at cons. So you found your thing.
See, that's what I mean.
That's what we need to find.
Yeah, Tom, I think yours, it like fits the booth. I think it's like a fun addition to people that come to your booth. It's like kind of like with Pui, it's an experience that people will remember.
It doesn't, because even for Pui, weirdly, Pui doesn't like overly stick out either, that it distracts from the art. So even for you, Tom, I feel like that won't distract from your art either. So we need to find something that feels fun, but isn't also like, yeah, I don't know. Felix says, I'm so sad Dark Crystal was canceled. I love the grungy puppetry 80s look.
I know.
They canceled. Wait, were they making another season?
I think so, yeah. Actually, I think I did hear this.
That
this was a while ago, though.
Really fun to watch, though. And it felt refreshing to see something that, like, you could feel the heart they put into that.
Yeah, it's very sad.
Oh, no. We should have watched that again, though. I did really enjoy that.
Yeah, I feel like it's a good August show. For some reason, sometimes shows will have, like, a month that I want to watch it. Like Queen's Gambit, I like watching in late fall. I don't know why, but it seems like the perfect time for it. But watching something, like, we want to watch Call Me By Your Name. Josh has never seen it. But I feel like you can't watch that not in summer. It's such a summer movie to me.
I'm excited to see it, though. A gay movie that I've not seen yet.
I mean, yeah, it's really good, but it's not one that you're like, you leave being like, wow, that was happy.
No spoilers.
No spoilers.
Ara says, tired of everything needing to be gritty, makes anything dark or heavy lose its impactfulness as well. Like the Last Airbender example.
I didn't see the... Oh, are you talking the movie or are you talking Korra?
Well, I know... It's like sometimes when everything is so serious, it almost becomes kind of a trope now, I feel like. I don't know. I think it's fun when... That's why I think Avatar was fun, because there were serious things going on, but the characters still felt like they were able to...
It wasn't a joyless experience.
Yeah. Which I guess maybe that's because I relate to that. Like, even in the darkest of times, I feel like I'm always going to find a way to try to make light of things, because that's a way of, like, coping. And I don't know. I think comedy is a communication style, or finding humor in things. So I don't know.
Actually,
I think it's...
Speaking of joyless experiences, though, the new Batman.
That was
3 hours without any jokes. That was a little rough. Where they could have easily had some fun jokes in there, and I think I would have enjoyed the experience much more. Because as of right now, I'm like, it was literally It felt like the original Dark Soul trilogy, where just gloomy the whole time. What did someone describe
Okay,
it
but Dark
before?
Souls had some comedic characters. I'm trying to defend this game so hard.
Well, they did have what is the sun guy?
Yeah, the sun guy. Oh, he's so goofy.
I feel like that's how you talk to your friends when you meet your girlfriend or like a girl pal that you have, their new boyfriend, and then later they're like, oh, what do you think of him? Oh, he's so goofy.
That's how he feels to me, though.
He's so goofy.
God, I'm so sad about Dark Crystal right now. I didn't realize that would have been such a cool surprise to be like, oh my god, there's another season. But
yeah, no. I don't think I like the under thing I just did.
Beth says, I wonder if the success of Bridgerton and Ted Lasso and Our Flag Means Death means audiences are demanding more joyful media.
I think so. I always believe in the pendulum effect of everything. So I think because we've had so much joyless stuff lately.
Well, if everything in the world right now, too, isn't obviously
it's not helpful.
Joyful.
No.
So I feel like people don't want to sit down then and their entertainment also be not joyful. So hopefully there will be a change of like, because I'm okay even with like darker things, but make it joyful in some ways though. Like make the characters feel real and not just emo the entire time. Because that was Batman. It was just like watching an emo kid and dressing up as a superhero. And like everyone else around him treating him super seriously because of it too.
I think what frustrated me with the new Batman is I felt like they had so much potential to play on the layers that they were playing on, because I know I've mentioned this before on the streams, but the beginning when they talk about people just being afraid of literally the shadows because Batman comes out of the shadows. So if they see the bat signal in the air, they're like, you know, they're kind of double guessing and double looking at every corner wherever they are. And I love the idea of using fear to your advantage in the shadows. And they tried to tell the story then basically at the end where like he didn't want to use fear as a element against, you know, the people he's wanting to protect. I think they could have done that way better though and like really played into that, because to me that was the most interesting part of the new Batman. And the other big thing was I like when Batman is three personalities, where it's your Bruce Wayne and then what you're like when you're at the house with what's his name, Alfred, yeah. And you saw that with the Tim Burton Batmans. You saw Michael Keaton and the way that he changed. Or is it Michael? No, I'm getting mixed up now.
I don't know the name.
Well, the Batman.
It's Michael. Yeah, it is Michael.
It is Michael Keaton. Right?
Yeah, yeah.
Why am I having a brain fart on Michael Keaton? Yeah,
he's got like the dark.
So he was different then, and then you have to be Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
In public eye. So then this is a more like serious, more refined. You're the son of like a philanthropist, a millionaire, and then who you are as Batman, who's very like grungy and serious, and you know has to be ready to fight for your life essentially. Those three personalities are so distinct to me, where in the new one, love Robert Pattinson, but I felt like, and it might not have been his fault, it could have been the director, but all three were the same personality, were just like gloomy emo kid, and it was the same note, which I wanted more from Batman as a character, but not a bad movie. I think Penguin was the best part of it.
I think if you were anywhere near Bruce and Batman, you'd be able to tell instantly it's the same person, just because the personality was the same and they have the same chin. So it's like clearly. Let's see. Adam Shore says, "Okay, guys, I'm off to go and finish my painting for the Talent House Northman competition. Thanks for the stream and hope."
Wait, is that for the movie?
Catch you next week.
There's a competition out? That's awesome. I didn't even know about that.
Best of luck.
Best of luck.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to look into that. So The Northman's directed by Robert Eggers, who did The Witch and The Lighthouse, which I thought were both really, really good.
Just want to read that one. Let's see. Felix says this polished Marvel CGI era corporate art thing is not it.
Agreed.
Tom says Lord of the Rings movies told that line between really fun and super dark.
Yep.
Yeah, I
agree.
Agreed.
The first one specifically I thought was excellent. Like 10 out of 10.
Felix says it's yaoi, anime proportions, tiny head, long arms, huge hands. Yeah, I guess Ronaldo kind of does have that. Well, it's weird too because she's wearing this giant cape though too, so it kind of like hides a lot of.
I mean, I kind of like to view her as some kind of a demigod or something. So I like that her proportions has been like distorted over years.
That's a Souls thing. They do a lot of like the giants, and they usually have like weird proportions too. So
Yeah, I like that.
EJ Dare says Clue is the best. Tim Curry. Yeah, he's so good in that.
I mean, besides Rocky Horror, I definitely think one of his defining roles for sure.
Okay, so I've not met Beth in person yet. Beth, we will one day meet in person. I love you on the podcast too. You're so funny. So yeah,
Beth,
it'll be fun to hang out with you.
You just have this comedic timing to the way that you do humor that is just, it's really good for podcasts. So I'm not even trying to like stroke your ego, but that's how I feel.
Jen says first 5 might be distracting, but then distraction often comes from being unused to it. See, this is why if I get so behind, I forget what we were talking about. The first 5 might be distracting, but then distraction often comes from being not used to it, I'm guessing. I can't remember what we were talking about.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Sorry, Jens. And it was clearly something we were talking about too. We just forgot. Beth says, unfortunately, no, I'm having a hard time getting accepted into cons.
What? Well, that's a bummer to hear. Well, I wish you all the luck with these future cons, because I'd love to see you again.
Oops, sorry, I knocked your hand. I think it's just, keep trying. It will happen. Ejadair says, how to solve the problem of finding useful reference materials like foreshortening and extreme angles when Google fails you and creating your own reference photo is too difficult.
Yeah.
Wasn't there an app you used for a bit too where it was like...
To be honest, I'm so far behind with like reference apps. I know there's some good 3D ones out there, and I do want to do my research on this more. I think I've been so trained to just either take a picture of myself, like even this pose is technically a pose I found of myself, and then a lot of the other reference that I find, I create like pin boards essentially. But I'm definitely of the millennial era of artists, and that's kind of the way that a lot of us, I think, learned how to do it. But I'm telling you, if you just ask around or even just do a proper Google search, there are definitely 3D, not even 3D programs. It's like a website that you can use, and it's like a fully posable 3D model. And then you can articulate them with like different hinge joints and movement, where I have one for a skeleton on my phone. It's called Skelly. I believe it's provided by Proco, who's like one of the big YouTubers. But I don't know about a good 3D base model poser yet. If you find one, let me know, and let us know on the Discord.
Because you have probably like lighting and stuff, especially if you're doing, like you said, extreme angles. Mm-hmm. If you're doing lighting and stuff too, you probably want to know how shadows and stuff work with that.
Yeah.
Carlos has... Hello, everyone. Finally getting to this live, but I always let the VOD play while working. Well, thanks for coming to the live this time, Carlos.
Welcome, welcome.
Grain of Sand says dressing up is an art. I mean, yeah, especially for...
I mean, yeah, fashion's definitely an art.
Trying to match it to a booth, too, is going to be well fun. I feel like we'll have fun with that, actually.
I think we will, too.
Yeah. Maybe our Ren Fair costumes.
Well, so Josh and I want to be like a sun and moon character. Originally, I was thinking Jester, but now I'm thinking, if you guys know Bill Safi, he's an artist. I can't hold the blanket up, but he does this really cool like sun and moon, like complementary costume outfit. And him and his boyfriend actually made it. And looking at that, I was like, oh, we should do something similar, but like in our style, obviously.
Yeah.
We'll probably start working on that next month. Yeah,
we have fun. To. I mean, it's already going into May, which means...
I know.
What, Ren Fair's July? Yeah, we got to be top of this. Josh Andrew Woods Wisdom says, is this outfit inspired by any real-life outfit?
Not one in particular. I mean, I knew I wanted to do like a skin-tight black upper torso and then just like heavy fabric. I love playing with contrast in fashion. That's why if I was a fashion designer, I would definitely probably be more like a McQueen or even like a Heatherette if I did more like edgy. But nowadays, I really like a good Christian Dior where it's very elegant and very like over the top. But for my own like fashion taste, I love showing off the body, but in a way that is, I was trying to explain this to Josh, sensual but not sexual. So like even though she's wearing this skin tight lace sheer turtleneck, it's not really sexualized.
It's still elegant.
It's still elegant, but it's so quirky and fantastical. It kind of becomes its own thing without it being like alluring in a sexual manner, which I think that's my favorite type of fashion, is where it like it does show off the body, but in a way that is very elevated, and I like that.
I would love for you to at least design one dress in your life. It would be really cool.
I mean,
Yeah,
I'd be okay with that. Yeah, I'd definitely be okay with that.
Just don't want to skip anyone. Let's see here. Okay. Which she says, I'm trying to figure out how to simplify pine tree bark for a drawing, and I'm starting to question my life choices.
You know what? Here, I'll show you. So I'm telling you, there's a power to nuance and subtlety and like suggestion. So in my new tarot card that I'm doing, I don't want to show it all away because this is for Patreon backers, but I'm almost done with it. I guess I can give a quick glance at Josh. There's Josh.
Oh, God.
Okay, so see, I'm working down here right now, so this is the last part I really have to work on. So you can tell how this is an implied grass field, but a lot of it's just vacant. That empty space, it's implied that it's all grass because of the heavy detailing in some areas. So when you're doing bark on a tree, actually, you know what? I did do bark on a tree recently. 1 second. Let Josh take over.
Hello. Welcome to my YouTube. Let's see. I can read something else quick. Thumb Drive was hilarious in Batman. Oh, yeah. Who's Thumb Drive again? Do you remember who that was?
No, that was the joke. Remember, it was his thumb.
Oh my God. It was a 3-hour movie, okay?
Where did I put this?
Oh, Felix, I really want to watch Call Me By Your Name with my boyfriend, who hasn't seen it, but he only watches romances when it has a happy ending. I'm the same way. I love rom-coms because usually they always have, like, the good endings for them.
I mean, true.
And also, Tim and I had, well, technically, did I even say when you, because didn't you watch this movie when we first met?
Oh,
and
yeah. So, story time. I watched Call Me By Your Name after I met Josh, and then we went on 2 dates. I thought things were going well, and then he ghosted me, like flat ghosted me for like 3 months.
There's backstory, okay? I didn't just ghost. But
There's no context. But essentially, during that time, I went to go see Call Me By Your Name by myself in a theater because I was like, oh, I could really use a pick-me-up right now. So then me watching this, destroyed. I can't even say anything about that. You know what? I'll just keep it at that until we watch it.
I feel bad watching it because all I'm gonna think about is poor Tim crying because I was an asshole.
I wasn't crying. I felt like crying would at least give me some emotion to latch onto. I felt emptied.
That's even worse.
I know, it was bad. It was bad. Anyways.
Okay, bark.
So bark. So when I draw tree texture, this is a good example. When I draw a tree. I'll usually let some areas be like the focus of it, and I'll kind of like fade the rest out. But a lot of it is just creating the cracks of the bark, which kind of acts as like a way to direct the viewer's eyes. So for me, I really wanted all the bark to lead down into this moment down here. So a lot of it was just going up and out. And just looking at real bark texture can help, but also, this might help you too, filling in areas of value and then going in with your eraser. So like here on this part, see how this kind of gets a little lost right here? You just take a kneaded eraser or what are these? The mono eraser. See how I'm creating that edge, and it creates more of that like roundness illusion. And if I do it again, And again, you can kind of see the tree building up. The problem is you might not want to have too much focus of contrast up here. So that's why on the top part of the bark, I made it a little darker. So I just take a pencil and then I just shade it on the side. And you can still kind of get that illusion. But then the other little tip I have is, so this I had to do for a beer company like a month or two ago where they wanted a wraparound, but they only gave me like a not even 3-day turnaround time. It was very quick. So what I did here is I just drew a lot of detail in the foreground and have that be like very much expressed in detail. And then as it faded out, literally the detail is just gone. But it's implied that this whole field, essentially, I don't know how far out you might even see it, is just full of flowers. And a lot of that is through the illusion of detail and implementation. So I'm implying that this is a flower field going all the way back.
I always, when I see that, I think of the beginning of Wizard of Oz and Antium's farm.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
Because it's like it's the grayscale, you know, before it goes into Technicolor.
Maybe. I would
just
think
like
of like, what was the field of flowers that put them all to sleep?
Oh, but outside of Oz.
What
I
were
forgot
those
the name of
flowers
that.
called?
I forgot the name of that.
Does
We should
anyone
watch
know?
that movie again too. It's been a while.
I like Wizard of Oz.
I do too. It's such a.
So anyways, that would be my advice for Bark.
Let's see here. Agent Kane says, "Dude, I have seasonal shows too, and my girlfriend was making fun of me about that. I'm glad I'm not the only one."
It's weird, right? I mean, some of them are more obvious. Like, I only watch horror or like thriller Halloween-y movies in October and September.
That's weird to me because I can watch horror any time of the year.
Absolutely not. Absolutely
Yeah.
not.
In fact, I actually think summer is a fun time to watch horror for some reason. But
Maybe. Like, if you're watching like a campy one or one that's fun to watch in groups, like Friday the 13th movies.
speaking
Yeah, I
of,
can see that.
I watched the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre on Netflix.
Oh, did you really?
Oh, it was so bad. Don't even spend time doing it.
I don't know if it can be worse than the original.
It's worse than the original, in my opinion.
So, I'm a big movie person. Maybe some of you guys know this. Love film. Love older films, usually because of like the writing and acting. But the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre has like a 99% on Rotten Tomatoes. And if you watch it,
I like it. I don't know why you don't like it.
the
Because the
mood,
screaming.
the mood is definitely there. It definitely has this like sweaty, uncomfortable vibe, which yes, they hit that perfectly. But the last 20 minutes, I'm not kidding you, she screams pretty much the entire time. The entire time.
Yeah, because it's freaking terrifying. A axe wielding or chainsaw wielding crazy man is chasing her.
Great. I'm glad it's terrifying. As a viewing experience, I wanted to turn it off. Not because I was scared, not because I was uncomfortable, because the shrieking was just annoying. I genuinely do not know how people enjoyed the latter half of that movie. But I love all the behind the scenes stuff about it. Do you know that they actually gave him a real chainsaw? And not for all the scenes. Most of them just had the band without the chains on it. But apparently the last scene where he chases her into the street where the car passes by and he's like swinging it around, apparently they found out that was actually a real chainsaw. And when the camera like backs off of him is because he's genuinely scared of getting cut because the guy is like swinging it.
That's crazy. That would not fly today.
So like I love actually. It's weird how sometimes I'll love the behind the scenes stuff more about a movie than I do the actual
You hated
film.
that movie. I thought you were crazy. I like it.
I'm not a fan. No.
Actually, what's really, I think the most anxiety-inducing one though, from kind of not a little later though, was Jeepers Creepers. That movie always gives me like.
You know what's weird is I haven't seen Jeepers Creepers.
Oh, we should watch this.
Yeah, let's watch
it. There's actually, I think Jeepers Creepers 2 is kind of good too.
Well, everyone I feel like has those random horror movies where they like forget that was even a thing. Did you ever see Darkness Falls?
No, I don't believe so.
So I remember. Okay, ready for this?
No, I didn't.
I watched this with my grade school basketball team while at a tournament up north. So they let all the boys go into one of the rooms and they were like, oh yeah, you guys can watch a movie. So we decided collectively to watch Darkness Falls for some reason. And it really scared me. But I'd have to watch it again because I'm sure it's really silly.
Was
now.
it like on the TV? That's why you watched it, or?
No, like we went to Family Video.
And you picked it out.
So in grade school, I don't know if any of you guys had a similar experience, but it was the cool thing to like watch horror movies that you should not have been watching. So that's why I watched The Shining when I was 9 at my friend Kelly Kula's. I watched Halloween at my friend Patrick Kniff's when I was, I think, 10. Like movies that I should not have been watching. But the one that really got me was The Ring. I think I was like 11 or 12. That one really stuck with me. For some reason, more than Halloween and Shining. Which
Ring
is weird.
when you're younger, I think, scary. Yeah, I think now it's kind of funny.
No, The Ring is not. Me and Josh argue about this one specifically. I will defend The Ring because even though it terrifies me and the idea of someone crawling around is still like gives me goosebumps, it still holds up in my opinion. Watching it again, I was like, yeah, this is still creepy.
I'm gonna have different opinions on that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It's definitely still holds up. You know, it doesn't hold up Texas Chainsaw, the original.
I disagree.
I'd have to watch what was it, 2001 with Jessica Biel? I'd have to watch that one again, but I remember I thought that was okay.
I liked the one with the Andrea, the girl that you don't like her, you think her eyes are super intense.
Oh, Texas Chainsaw Beginning?
Yes, I like that one too.
That was fine. No, I don't think I like intense eyebrows. I think she looks like a villain. And she's got to stop playing like the hero character.
All right. All right. R says, like how The Last Airbender was mostly jokes. So when something became serious, it felt a lot more meaningful and let you learn a lot more about the characters, connect to them a lot more.
Yeah?
Yeah. They felt like fleshed out characters and real people, not just a one-note moody person.
Oh, those are the worst. I think when you can...
Oh, Casper.
I forgot to put the water bowl back on the floor, so he's just dripping it everywhere. I was wondering why it's always wet around his bowl. So apparently when Casper drinks water, he'll do it from the opposite side of the bowl and like push it up, which pushes it out.
And Casper extends his tongue as far as it can go to drink too.
I don't know why.
Like, because Astrid will get right next to the bowl with her mouth pretty much. Casper will like a foot away with his tongue drink the water.
Yeah, Casper, you're a weirdo. Where'd you go?
Felix says, I actually think the opposite. The formula right now that everything has to be comedic, like Marvel movies. Like even Thor 1 was a serious movie with some comedy, and then Thor 3 was straight up comedy. That was a parody of itself.
Oh, see, I didn't see Thor 3.
Yeah,
actually, I haven't watched a superhero movie in a long time.
Watch Marvel movies. So maybe those are doing more of a comedic kind of take on things.
Also, hot take. I don't think Batman should be considered a superhero movie. He's not a superhero.
He's a vigilante.
He's a vigilante.
Oh, Lane's here. Hi, I love you. Lane,
Hi,
love
Lane.
you too.
How are you doing?
Good to see you here. Hope you've been doing well too. I know we have some stuff planned this summer too, so we'll be reaching out to you. Jen says, one thing to make a statement with an outfit to have a gun to go with it.
Ooh, I'm not a big fan of just guns in general, so I think the idea of adding it to a concept,
oh gosh, yeah.
not my favorite.
Grain of Sand says...
Although, you know what, now I'm thinking about it, I do have a weird relationship with like weaponry, where like my favorite weapon is a shovel.
Oh, yeah,
And I love the idea of a shovel being a weapon. And then like one of my characters, Red, I don't think I have any art of her around. I like the idea that she has this giant rectangle box, and that's what she uses to fight with. So like just imagine this like metal case that's like attached to a bunch of rope that she'll like swing. And the idea of like being hit by a blunt object, for whatever reason, that always stood out to me way more than a sword or a gun. I love blunt object weapons. Or like in Clue, my favorite weapon is the wrench.
Oh, yeah.
To me, it's just such a...
Well, it's not conventional, so yeah.
Yeah. And I think using things that aren't meant to be used as weapons almost add more to like the terror of it. I think, to be honest, I think that's why Texas Chainsaw, even now that we're talking about it, has that extra element, because that is not a weapon.
Yeah.
But it can be weaponized so easily, and it's terrifying. Where like you can't look at a gun and not think it's a weapon. You know, like that is meant to kill. But then if you look at a wrench or a shovel, conventional item used as like a weapon. I don't know. Random take, but that's my thoughts on that.
Yes. Actually, Michael Myers used a wrench, I think, in one of the Halloweens as well. I'm pretty sure.
I would say he's, though, super famous for, what is that called?
Like the knife, the butcher knife?
It's not a butcher knife, though. Butcher knives are the black ones.
Oh, yeah.
What is that called? Why am I not a steak knife?
It's like the...
I feel so dumb right now. What are those knives called? Do you guys know what we're talking about?
Grain of Sand says it was a good movie, but he's not a teen anymore, so that they overdid the emo. Oh, with Robert Pattinson and Batman. Also, yes, he's supposed to have a fun side. Also, beautiful work. Thanks.
Thank you.
I do like the lace.
I feel bad because I know the lace is going to take me a while, but we only have like a half hour left. Maybe one day I'll do like a part 2 to a stream, and like we'll take this further.
Let's see. Felix says Clip Studio Paint or use Make Human and then import into Blender. Okay, so Felix has some suggestions for reference stuff too.
Oh.
Make Human. Interesting.
What a weird name for it.
Beth says, I heard Devin also didn't get into Dragon Con.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So that helps.
And
the
of all
stain.
people, so if you guys follow Devin L. Kurtz, she literally draws dragons. There is no reason she shouldn't be allowed into Dragon Con.
Wow, yeah. Maybe maybe they're trying to mix it up this year a little bit more and not have repeats. I don't know. It has felt interesting. Actually, we didn't get everything yet, did we?
No. Well, because we only applied to the art show, not the...
Well, we did the Artist Alley. Remember we did it later?
Well,
we'll probably get
we
waitlisted.
late applied. Yeah, so we'll probably get waitlisted to the Artist Alley because we really late
Yeah.
applied. But the art show is like a different area and a different venue even. We're hoping to get into that one because I love Dragon Con.
Ruin Wonderland says, that's basically my guideline in fashion. Sensual, but not sexual.
Yeah, and like I have, like, if people want to be sexual with their designs, like, do it. I think just for my personal taste, I much more enjoy the sensuality. And I think the older I get, the more I've been attracted to, you know, the Dior's, the kind of classic, not really Gucci, not even Versace, or Versace.
You know, Versace I don't think really is up your alley.
I like... McQueen was such a good fashion designer for me. I'm so sad that what happened. Because he would elevate these like fantastical, dreamlike fashion designs. I guess the one that it would be close nowadays would be, not Vera Wang. Oh my gosh. Iris Van Harpen, and I know I'm saying her name wrong, but she does the very flowy, fantastical fashion that I really like nowadays. What?
I just saw Iris comment. Josh said vigilante like it was a Starbucks drink. It's vigilante.
Vigilante.
Vaughn, I was wondering, this is Carlos. I was wondering, do you offer private mentorship or a one-on-one artistic counseling session?
I used to way more. I think because my time's so horribly distracted right now. I'll probably do it after I finish some of these bigger projects for like a couple months. At least once my next card deck and the tarot deck are done, then I might start doing them more. Because right now, like any free time that I have, I really want to either be outside like exploring or, you know, playing things like Elden Ring, because I rarely get sucked into games. So for me to actually like get sucked into one is kind of rare.
It's hard for Tim to allow himself to enjoy free time also. So it's been good to see you playing a video game too.
Yeah. But I do want to do them again. And I do want to do critique streams on these streams or on these Wednesday live streams. So I was thinking if like you're a Patreon member, we're going to have one at the end of this month where you can submit something and I'll give you a 10 to 15 minute critique live on the stream and give you some feedback that way. That way we can still do the live streams. I feel like I'm not giving extra time right now and I'm still able to help you guys out.
Actually, we still have to do one of those for this month, right? Because we're planning on doing 1 month. All right. Those are always a fun time, too.
Actually, we could probably schedule it right now live. What does our calendar look like? We'll probably do it on the 27th. That way we get... Because next Wednesday, we'll be just coming back from the con. We'll probably do something like this again.
Casual,
and then the 27th, we'll plan on doing a critique stream.
Those are really fun.
So if you are a Patreon backer, I'll make a note of it probably next week to submit and where to submit.
Let's see here. Felix, not the Josh villain backstory. Oh, yeah. My ghosting queen.
Am I the villain?
Yeah, am I?
I don't think I'm the villain.
Am I the drama?
Am I the drama?
Those were different times. I wasn't ready for a relationship at the time, so I think my way of thinking I was being nice was ghosting. Looking back, it was a toxic trait. And we have moved on and become a better person. Ella. Oh, Ella's here. Hello,
hey,
Ella. Tim likes movies? That's news to me.
Love movies.
Oscar says, I absolutely love the meadow. I hate beer, but I'd get some just for the can. Yes. I actually like beer, but the cans, they're going to send us some that we can actually have too. So it'll be fun to see Tim's art on them.
Yeah, weirdly, I've been designing beer cans and I don't even drink beer.
Also, hope your bike ride went okay, Oscar.
Oh, he bikes home?
Yeah, Oscar biked home. I don't know if you're home yet, but please be safe.
Oscar, I didn't realize you were biking home. That's actually awesome. So you just bike to go volleyball and then you bike home. I feel like, I don't know if it's an American thing, but I feel like so much of our geolocations are far enough away from each other when you want to go somewhere that you like have to drive.
Yeah. Well, that's, I think suburbs too is they're kind of built to, you have to drive everywhere.
I kind of like the good old days. Like when I grew up in my neighborhood, all my friends were like, most of them were close enough where I could just bike to. The tennis courts I could bike to, the library I could bike to. So like literally my parents didn't have to drive me anywhere when I was a kid unless if I was going to a friend's house that like lived further away.
Technically, if the cousins, it's because I think family's all different, but Waukesha, we could technically bike to a lot of things from here.
Yeah, we bike to
we could get to the
farmer's
grocery
market
store.
sometimes.
We could bike easily to, we did the tennis courts too.
Yeah.
We biked to the tennis courts before. So like there's things we can do. Let's see. Wishy says, thanks for the tips. I've been trying to figure out how to hint the detail without actually drawing it, but the drawing has super even diffused light, so I can't play with contrast too much.
Honestly, though, can be amazing. If you can work subtlety in your values, you will be a god tier in art. Because I think it's very easy and, okay, hot take. I think this might be more of an amateur move when I see a lot of artists like really amplify contrast to like narrate the direction they want the viewer to look at. But if you can still narrate it just as strong, but with like minimal contrast, you're gonna be set. You're gonna be so good at your compositions and directing the eye in future pieces. So that is a skill. So if you're struggling with it, just know it's because it's not easy. But if you keep at it, it will definitely benefit you in the long run, in my opinion.
Lane says the dentist messed me up. Oh no. Are you... Did they like take a tooth out they shouldn't? Dynasty says Darkness Falls was one of my first horror films. Mm-hmm. Similar story. I think it was at a sleepover, exactly as you put it. It was cool to watch horror movies you had no business watching.
Well, what's weird, I don't even think this is a spoiler, but it ends up being about the Tooth Fairy.
Oh, God.
But it was like a very weird version of the Tooth Fairy.
So as a kid, you're kind of like...
Well, what's weird is I didn't even make that connection until years later. I don't know if I was just not paying attention to the movie that much, but I didn't realize it was the Tooth Fairy until like I watched it years later. I was like, wait, how did I miss this? I do remember teeth being a thing, but I thought it was like, you know, witches, they're like grinding teeth up to make spell or something. I don't know.
Creepy. Lane says, I'm dying about the shovel. Yeah, Tim has weird weapon choices.
Right, but isn't that awesome?
Okay, everyone stop with the vigilante thing. Ella, one vigilante, please. I can't...
Fente or Grande?
Oh my god. Lane says, vigilante, hold the guns.
Would you like a milk substitute with your vigilante?
Felix says, I was in this medieval armory in Dresden, and it also had a huge collection of antique guns that were aesthetic AF.
Okay, those will win me over. I do like vintage looking guns because usually they have like a polish and like a metal handle that is engraved with some ornate nonsense. Oh, I love it.
I mean, they used to, yeah, the floral. They used to like put floral stuff on them even. So weird.
They were very, dare I say, gay. In like the best way possible.
Let's see. Oh, Michael Myers weapon, machete,
No,
chef's
it's not a
knife.
Thank
Chef's
you,
knife. Yeah.
chef's knife. Holy blank on that one.
EJ Dare says, have you seen the original adaptation of The Haunting from 1963? Amazing cinematography, intense atmosphere, and great story. I can highly recommend it. The book is also a great read.
Wait, Haunting on House Hill or just The Haunting?
I think just The Haunting.
I don't believe I have seen it. Actually, we should start adding to our October.
Oh yeah, 1963.
Can you, on here. So we need to watch The Haunting, Darkness Falls. Those are the two horrors so far. And Houseu. You haven't seen Houseu yet. Oh, that's right. We're saving it this year because it's the Drawtober.
Jeepers Creepers.
Don't say anything.
That's for you.
Jeepers Creepers. So if any of you want to do Drawtober this year, I guess I can give like a subtle hint. It will involve a house. We'll just say that. So I wanted to save the movie Houseu for Josh to watch this year because it deals with a haunted house.
Lilac Lay says, how do you feel about an anchor being used as a weapon?
Love it. Love it. Isn't there a character in Guilty Gear that uses an anchor? Love it.
Same with League, I think Nautilus too.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Nautilus.
the anchor.
Oh yeah.
Ruin Wonderland. Is my nickname too hard for you today? It has been a struggle today. I think if I just say Ruin Wonderland, it's fine, but if I had that "the" in there for some reason...
Can we just change your name to Vigilante?
Vigilante. Term?
I'm just a serious question.
Oscar says, come to think of it, I think The Ring is the only good horror movie I've ever seen. It's truly eerie, true psychological fear, because you don't even understand the threat. It doesn't even have a jump scare.
Oscar gets it. He gets it. Literally, the reason it's so scary is because it creates this mood that just sits with you even after you leave it. There is no way you can tell me that you didn't enjoy The Ring.
Maybe it's because I watched The Ring with a streamer. There was a streamer playing it once, and we were adding fart sound effects to the movie.
Oh, Caseytron?
Yeah. So there was a part where the girl was in the closet, and that's when they open it up, and you just see her head, and then she goes... But someone did a fart sound effect right at that moment.
Well, that will ruin any
So we watched...
movie.
The entire movie was just like any scary scene, just farts were happening. It's very middle school humor, but farts still can get to me.
See, this is what I'm dealing with. This low taste tier movie viewing experience. No, I agree with you, Oscar. The Ring creates a mood, and it is unsettling.
I think we should do one stream, though, where we allow people to do farts sound
absolutely
effects
not.
on the stream.
No,
I'm telling you, comedic level of the stream will go up.
We already got it. Vigilante.
It's
Vigilante.
not good enough. It's not good enough yet. Ruin Wonderland says, "Oh yes, Iris Van Herpen has some very cool pieces."
I know, I feel so bad I can't pronounce her name. But she has amazing designs. Oh, well, thank you, Claire, for...
Claire
I
Jones.
have
Oh, yeah,
the
we have the
sound
sound
off.
We may have. I don't think we missed anything. If we missed someone, thank you for subscribing.
Oh, yeah, the volume's off.
I think
Okay, we're
can we
good.
do viewer activity? I think that shows, maybe.
Yeah, thank you guys for following.
We'll see.
Hope we can brighten up your Wednesdays a little bit.
Jen says, "Well, I was watching the stream while cooking with my mom, and she thought Tim was artist that drew Atelier witch hat." Oh, the thing, and I completely understand.
What did you just say?
I can't say that word.
Say it one more time.
Okay. Tim.
So, one more time.
Okay. No,
Witch
because now
hat.
you just
What's it called?
Witch
Witch hat.
Atelier.
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 Yeah, I
was a speech therapy kid.
I love that manga so much. And it was just announced that it will be an animated series soon. So that is the highest of compliment. Please tell her thank you.
Tim, yeah. Actually, yeah, we've been reading that one together. I don't usually read manga either, so it's been one I got into.
Well, it's okay. So it's weird when I get really into something, it's hard for me to like double dip on something else. So I decided to stay with Elden Ring right now, and then I'll come back to Witch Hat because I really love the magic use in Witch Hat, but I don't want to get that so intermixed with Elden Ring's, lore and look and whatever. So I got to put Witch Hat on hold.
Ella says, "Yeah, hi you two. I joined stream sneakily just a few moments ago. How are you doing? Are you enjoying spring so far, or do you have terrible weather, April weather over there?"
Terrible weather so
Yeah.
far.
Sounds like for you guys over there too. I don't know how much of Europe, but it sounds like it's not been the best there either for you guys. Just cloudy and gloomy and still cold.
Mm-hmm.
Jen says, "Back in the day, the U.S. was lauded as the future cities, and European cities were built to imitate it. Everyone hated it, and they went back to it because it is not human-friendly planning."
Yeah, I can kind of see that.
I watched a video about how in the States we built a lot of our roads even. And like double highways are one of the worst things. So not a freeway, but double highways.
Oh, wow.
Well, it's not practical. So it's not like made for foot travel at all. So like think about like
that way.
where Walmarts are or something, how it's some of these big open roadways and stuff, and there's a store there, a store way over there, a store across the street.
Yeah.
It's not made to like easily walk or get between things. You have to drive. So yeah, there's not a lot of practical road designs here.
Yeah, I can agree to that.
Yeah. Let's see. Oscar says, Lund, where I live, is built in a way that favors biking. It's the fastest way to travel. Driving a car in central Lund is very inconvenient. Most people bike or use electric scooters or a bus. Yeah, I like that. Thankfully, where we are, it is like a suburb, but we're very close to like the downtown area.
Yeah.
There's a grocery store really close that we can even bike to. So thankfully we can bike. And
Actually,
there's bike trails
honestly,
here
with
too.
the rising gas prices, we really should just start biking for groceries if we go out.
I have my little basket on my bike now too.
Yeah. Well, and we're big fans of like going to the farmer's market.
Oh yeah, we do that every Saturday, which it should be starting up in May. So we'll be
very soon.
back to it. Moon Wonderland says, "Have you watched Penny Dreadful?" You did that last year, right? Penny Dreadful?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that was with what's her name? I liked her in it a lot. Something Green, I want to say.
I have not watched it.
Or no, Ava
It's-
Green.
Let's see if you're right.
Eva Green. Yes.
Yes, Eva Green.
Yeah, I loved. Well, what's weird is I didn't even watch all of it, but I really enjoyed it. I think because I was lacking in like horror that I actually enjoyed, so a part of me was like shelving it for like a rainy day, and I really need to finish it because I liked what I saw. Yeah.
All right. The Jen says the Order 1886 is a cyberpunk game with some very nice aesthetic for guns. Might be a good place for inspiration. Don't play it for story or gameplay though.
Yeah.
1886. Oh yeah, I've heard of that.
I don't
game.
know if you're selling it to me. Maybe I'll look at if I ever need to do gun design. I'll just use it for that.
Ruin Wonderland says you can call me Vigilante if it's easier for you.
Well, thank you, Vigilante.
Thanks, Vigilante. Jen says my favorite weapon at the moment was from an anime where, to avoid killing an opponent, instead of using their original hammer, they drew a toy hammer, and she just goes to town on the person. My favorite weapon moment. Oh. They drew a toy hammer. Ejid Air says Ringu is awesome, but Ju-on is even creepier because in the end it turns out that they're...
Don't say it. So I actually haven't seen it yet.
You've not seen Ringu yet?
Or Ju-on.
Okay, I won't read it.
So Ju-on's the Grudge adaptation. Grudge is the adaptation of Ju-on. No, because I was so scared of them.
Oh.
Because The Ring is so good that I was scared to watch the originals.
Jen says, I am warning you, do not give chat agency or power in the stream. It will not end well, but he will definitely have stories to tell. I'm thinking like $1 donation gives you the power to do one fart on stream.
No.
Not even
Absolutely
entertaining it. Jen says, Tim as a witch in Witch Hat Atelier. Would be funny because he could almost have to not change anything. Oh, Tim as a witch in it? Yeah, I could see Tim being a witch in it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you would love that.
Okay, I think I'm going to give her a sheer kind of coat over the sheer turtleneck. We'll see if it works out. I know we don't have too much time left, but let me see if I can at least give some illusion to it.
We're down to like 8 minutes left, so if you have any last minute questions, get them in right now. This is the moment. This is the time. Rueden says, my apologies. Vigilante says, Eva Green, yes, she's amazing. Penny Dreadful is one of my favorite series, and I really recommend it. I really recommend finishing it.
Oh, I think I do want to watch it from again, like start over. So hopefully this year.
Oh, Penny Dreadful is the name of a genre of short horror books you could buy for a penny, is my understanding.
What?
Oh.
Is that what it's from? That's amazing. It's kind of like the, when you first learned the origins of like Nickelodeon.
I love people that can come up with clever names like that for things too.
Yeah, I love that.
Wishy says, I really liked Penny Dreadful when it came out. I should see it again. Yeah, we'll try that one this winter. Or not winter. Fall.
Fall is going to be really weird for us because if we get into New York Comic Con, literally our October is just not great.
Well, we don't... What, do we have another con in October?
We already have 2 other cons.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So that's why, like, all the Drawtobers, I'm definitely going to have to do early.
Like a 2019 October again.
Yeah. Yeah, but if I finish Drawtober early, I won't be as stressed.
I gotta do the songs early, though, too.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we got this.
So I know I was telling Josh before the stream started, I like the idea that her upper body is up here, but then you don't see her lower body, and all you see are the footsteps from her heels or her boots.
Mm.
So then, yeah, it's like this whole other weird portal world to who gosh knows where.
Ella says, you know how Justin Bieber fans are called believers? Von fans are now called to vigilantes. I'm telling you this is a mod, so you know you can trust my word for it. All our vigilantes. Vangelantes?
Vangelantes.
Hey.
Yikes.
Right. EJ Dara says, sorry, didn't mean to spoil anything. Oh, you're fine.
Don't you worry.
Yeah. I spoiled something at the beginning of the stream today, so it's fine.
I'm quick to catch it.
Yeah. But I'm glad you're going to watch the originals. Yeah, Tim's going to be horrified, but... Because if you thought the US ring was creepy, just you wait, my friend.
Yeah,
Ara says, I'm just super excited to see what other words get Joshified. Agent Kane says, should I order a breakfast burrito or a salad for lunch? Getting these good last minute questions in. I vote breakfast burrito.
Salad.
Oh no.
To each their own, I gosh.
We can duke it out. You can bring a shovel and I'll bring a
You know what? Just make it a poll really quick.
breakfast burrito or...
Breakfast burrito or salad?
Oh wait, I have to do it on yours though. Hang on.
Okay, everyone, now's your time to vote. This is a very important question here.
Yeah, chat's gonna help you out. We got you, Agent Kane. Oops. I forgot to put burrito. You get the context.
Oh my gosh.
Wait, what the heck? I clicked breakfast, but it says 0%.
What up?
Clearly my vote doesn't count. Oh wait, there we go.
Oh.
There we go.
I mean, I would assume breakfast burrito will win this.
Yeah. Good choices, everyone. Good choices.
Oh my gosh. Wait, I can't see what I'm drawing.
Oscar. Oh my god, that's right. Last minute question. What's your favorite color today? That was last week. Wait, but we were gonna finish. Remember, I said last week we would do one this week, which is what's your favorite smell? Right? Was that what I said? I would wait till next stream. What's your
I think
favorite?
we did favorite, or did we not do favorite smell?
No,
Oh my
I don't
gosh,
think we did
don't
favorite
remember.
smell. All right, favorite smell today, Tim?
Oh god. Favorite smell.
Yeah. Oh yeah. See, Rune 101 says too. We were supposed to tell our favorite scents.
I feel like this one's very hard for me. I do like the perfume that you got.
My Dolly Parton perfume.
Yeah, that one's really good.
Wow, that's your favorite scent?
Well, I'm trying to think of like, I feel like I'm not the biggest scent person.
Oh my. I'm so touched right
Oh,
now.
God.
That's why I put it on all the time too.
Oh my god.
Breakfast burrito officially does win.
All right, figured. I guess that's our answer then. Breakfast
my
burrito.
perfume? Oh, Tim. All right.
Um,
Everyone, what's your favorite smells? Get them in before the end of the stream.
I can't even like picture.
I think I have one.
Oh, what's yours?
Mine's. It's it's in the summertime after it rains. The like wormy, wet asphalt smell. I don't know why. It always puts me in a good mood though. Because like, the rain's done. It's still kind of warm out. It's fun to be outside then because it's kind of humid. Usually the clouds are breaking.
Yeah, actually,
There's
I
like
know
a
what
lot
you're
that
talking
goes
about.
with that smell to me.
I would agree with that. That is a really good smell. Oh, I love the smell of breakfast foods. Obviously vegan ones now, but
Yeah. Pancakes.
French toast.
French toast.
Oh, really good vanilla. I love the smell of vanilla. Oh, I know what my favorite smell is. Okay, there is a Bath and Body candle called Sweet Strawberry Pound Cake or
The
something.
strawberry pound cake, yeah.
It is amazing, like the best.
I want to make a pound cake that smells like that.
It's so good.
Yeah, everyone get your smells in. It is 2:00, so we'll get, let's see. Favorite smells. Breakfast burrito has officially won. I'm going to close that poll out. Enjoy your breakfast burrito today, Agent Kane. Janisha. Oh, Janisha, you're here. Hello. Hi, just snuck in hoping breakfast burrito won.
Wait.
Gardenia flowers is your favorite smell.
Oh,
I don't think I actually
I
can
don't know what
place
that
that one.
is.
Yeah. Oscar says, my father had a cologne from Dior when I was younger. They stopped producing that variant. It was the most divine smell I've ever smelt, and I'll never get to smell it again.
Oh. I mean, I'm sure there's collector ones that you could find somewhere online. If you you really wanted to smell it again.
Ella says, you said smell is the most nostalgic sense when comparing it to sounds. So maybe there was something specific you had in mind. Oh yeah, for you.
Well, that's what I read. Apparently, like, smell is supposed to be a
Smells.
really powerful memory agent.
Oh.
But now that we're talking about it, now I'm like, okay, I'm like jogging my memory of, yes, I really like this smell. I really like this smell. There was, what is the aloe eucalyptus candle that my mom used to have? That I remember very vividly.
Oh, eucalyptus is a good smell too.
Mm-hmm.
I placed it with Vicks for so long because they smelled similar, but
Low-key, love the smell of Vicks.
same. Honestly, just putting a little under your nose at night,
Uh-huh.
you can breathe.
That's how you also can confirm that you're 30 years old.
Oh gosh, Vicks. We used to have that vapor thing too in the room
Mm-hmm.
that did Vicks. Oh my god, the room smelled so good.
So nice.
Rune Wonderland says my cat's fur was the best scent in the world. Actually, sometimes Astrid's fur smells good too, but then
Actually,
sometimes she
Casper
gets
smells sweet.
sometimes she gets stinky cat, but then she cleans it. Now I'm not sure. Forest, popcorn, cardamom, smoke, freshly cut grass. Ooh, freshly cut grass is a good smell too.
Yeah, that one's pretty good.
Also smoke. I have a pipe that I smoke tobacco out of sometimes.
Oh, that's right.
But yeah, it's
You
just
have a really
pipe.
good flavor.
Kind of like Gandalf pipe. The smell is so really good from that. Janisha says we used to have gardenia flowers in our yard that would bloom every year, and we'd pick them and give them to our teachers as kids. Oh, that's cute. And they have a beautiful smell apparently too. Next time I
Yeah, that's cute.
see one, I'm gonna have to smell it. Oscar says, do you have Rituals in USA? It's a store that focuses solely on smells. I adore that store.
No, what?
Rituals.
Or if we do, I've never heard of it.
We have candle stores, but Ritual store. There's a store called Body Ritual. No, actually, there is a Rituals here. It's in Minneapolis, though.
Really?
So they do have some U.S. stores.
Never heard of this.
We have a place called Bath and Body Works, which is like kind of maybe similar. Just, they have body lotion.
I mean, probably not. If they're like
Yeah.
specifically doing it for scents. I mean, Lush has a pretty powerful smell to it. The store Lush.
Oh, this looks cool though. To check this out, Oscar. Let's see. Agent Kane says my favorite smell is the one by Dolce
Dolce Gabbana.
that focuses solely on smells. I adore that store. Oh. Or wait, no, sorry. I completely just mixed two people's comments
I
together.
say you just said the
I
other
said
one.
that. Agent Kane says my favorite smell is the one by Dolce and Gabbana, but only in the fall winter Tim. But only in the fall winter.
What was that
Tim,
brand again?
can I finish reading this, please? But only in the fall winter time. Yeah, there's some good. I have a Dolly Parton one that I think it's my favorite
It's really
perfume
good.
smell. But she says I like that weird spring smell when snow has almost melted. I'm afraid it might be just old dog poop though. Sometimes you just enjoy the smell and don't think about it. Rune Wonderland says sometimes I get flashbacks from memories I'd forgotten when I smell something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
See, it's a
it does
memory
that.
trigger.
And Oscar says I think certain people smell amazing. Usually people you're attracted to. It's pheromones.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
I feel
Right.
like you can also have the opposite effect where you can look at someone and be like, they probably smell bad. I know how bad that sounds, but there's definitely been someone in your life where
I mean, yes, yeah.
you can just tell. Especially if they have like a I'm not going to name his name, but if they have a very like testosterone driven look, they probably have a musk. Some people
Oh,
are into
yeah.
it. Some people are into it. I am not one of those people though.
Surprisingly, yeah. I've talked to a couple girls that specifically, for some reason, like
They love.
a musky smell in a guy.
Mhm. Not a fan.
Not a
for
fan
me.
either, but
All right,
you know.
well, I guess as we're ending it
that's
off.
how we're ending.
Oh, I
10.
got decently far. This is okay. I think whenever I challenge myself to a 2-hour concept, I feel like I always like, just scratch the surface off of like, this is what the final concept will be. But this is kind of fun. This is kind of cool.
Love that veil.
Yeah, it's kind of fun, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think next week I'll probably do more of like a study. So if you want to do a follow along, I always get requests to do hands. So maybe if you want to do hands with me next week, that's what we'll do as a follow along. And then the week after that, we'll do a critique stream. And yeah, I think we'll end it there. So thank you guys again so much for coming to these. Like I said, we do these every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Central Time, and we love doing them with you guys. And if you are interested in the tarot pins, like I said, these will be out on the shop on the 25th, did we say?
Yes.
It's the last Monday of the month.
25th,
And,
yeah.
we'll also be releasing some new prints and some new journals, so we're pretty excited about that. And if you're in the Indianapolis area, we will be at Indiana Comic-Con this weekend. We leave tomorrow, and I'm very excited for this. I think that's all I got. Do you have any last-minute things?
No, thank you everyone for chatting today. It's always good to see you, hang out, and looking forward to the next one.
Awesome. All right, well, take care, everyone, and hopefully we'll see you next week. All right, bye, everyone.